Well, here we are. I think we all knew this video was going to be coming, but the funny thing is, I actually wasn't going to record this video. You got to Game 7 against the Florida Panthers, you made it to the second round, Toronto was doing everything right. It's not like they were going to completely collapse in Game 7 and play arguably the worst game of the season. What were y'all doing? Those first 12 minutes were the worst bit of hockey I have seen in a very long time, and then you got absolutely dominated in the second period. The game's not over yet. Nope, I'm recording this before the game's over. It's 3-0, and I said, you know what? I've seen enough, and I have seen enough of the core four. Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, and you know what? We're making it a core five, Morgan Riley as well. I am getting rid of all of you guys, but instead of trading you guys like I've done in the past, or just rebuilding the Toronto Maple Leafs, nope. You're free agents. I am sending you to free agency. We need some players to replace these guys. Marco Scandella, welcome to the team. Blake Wheeler, welcome to the team. Mike Hoffman, welcome to the team. Clutterbuck, welcome to the team. Ryan Johansson, I actually don't want you. Tyler Johnson, I'll take you instead. I actually don't want him either. Who do I want here? Adam Ernie. Give me Adam Ernie. This is the move we're making. We are going to add those 5 players and Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, Morgan Riley, John Tavares. You have all been sent to free agency. I am cutting all 5 of you. All 5 of you guys are going to be cut, and we are rebuilding the Toronto Maple Leafs for the next 5 years. I will work with what I have. We don't have a lot of picks. They traded them away. We just got rid of star players. We got nothing. Brandon Carlo is our best player right now at an 86 overall. This is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't even know what to say. That is one of the most embarrassing performances I've seen in my life. And the game's not even over. You guys might lose 7-0. Nah, Toronto fans, like, I am truly sorry for what you had to witness. Like, when the St. Louis Blues lost with 1.6 seconds left, it hurt. But you know what? At least my team put up a fight. Y'all did nothing. 3-0 halfway through the game. Florida's been dominating from start to finish. Y'all didn't put up the slightest fight. I can't explain in words what just happened. Also, technically, I just realized we are going to have draft picks because I'm doing a custom league because I have to get rid of the salary cap minimum, and I can't set it to authentic. I have to have it at classic, so we will have our first round pick and stuff, but that is neither here nor there. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the biggest frauds we have seen in a very long time, and because of this loss, I doubt they're going to re-sign Mitch Marner, and if they don't re-sign Mitch Marner, I am going to make this claim right now. Y'all might think I'm overreacting when I make this claim, but if the Toronto Maple Leafs don't bring Mitch Marner back to the team, I think there's a good chance they miss the playoffs next season. Yep, I've said it. If the Toronto Maple Leafs don't bring back Mitch Marner, I think they'll miss the playoffs because you have to replace a 110-point guy, basically. You have to find 110 points with $11 million with the salary cap going up. So that means like 50, 60-point players are going to be asking for like $7 million. I don't know how you're going to be able to replace Mitch Marner with only $11 million, but yeah, y'all want to get rid of Mitch Marner because he doesn't show up in the postseason. But without Mitch Marner, y'all might miss the postseason. That's all I'm saying. So here we go. Yarncrow, David Kampf, you guys are currently playing first line mints, but we're not doing that. Nope. Matthew Nyes, Scott Lawton, also known as Sean Lawton, and then Max Domi. We're loading it up with stick on the ice legends on the first line. On the second line, Bobby McMahon. Max Pacioretty, you have earned to play on the second line. Pontus Holmberg, you're on the second line as well. These are the lines we're rocking. This team is going to be bad. Brandon Carlo, I would put you on the first line, but you made a very questionable decision in Game 6 by pinching there. So yeah, I'm not moving you up in the lineup. Stolars, Wall, y'all are here. You just don't have a team in front of you. I can't blame goaltenders. I can blame the rest of this team. Now, how much money do we have to work with? Because we should have a fair chunk of change. Matthew Nyes, you need an extension. I'll give you a blank check. We're rebuilding Toronto for the next 5 years. So all we need is a 4-year extension with Matthew Nyes. You know what? I'm going to give you exactly what you want because you deserve whatever you want. So there you go. Matthew Nyes is coming back to the team. Max Pacioretty, I probably should bring you back. You're one of the very few players that showed up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You picked up the big time goals. Pontus Holmberg, you're coming back as well. No, like this Toronto team is just something else. Pontus Holmberg, you gained 4 years at 1.2 million. You deserve it. But nah, this team, it is something else. I just don't understand it. How is it every single time you just fold? And this time is worse than every other time. Like at least when you've lost some of the other Game 7s, they've been close games. You know what? It could have gone either way. Like the one when you lost to Boston on the Dave Pastrnak OT winner. You know what? You lost in overtime. At least you showed up in the game. Y'all didn't show up. You did nothing. Nah, Stick on the Ice is just losing his mind right now. We're trading Toronto's first round pick because they don't deserve to have it. You know what? We might even trade next season's first round pick because I don't think they deserve that either. By getting rid of the core 5 that we did, we now have a cap hit of $38 million. That is absurd. So here's the first trade I'm looking at because I'm looking to shake this team up. A first rounder and a lot of other assets for Bo Byram, JJ Peterka, Peyton Krebs. Hopefully they're willing to accept this deal, and it looks like they are. They think they're finessing us, and that's okay if they are, because the Toronto Maple Leafs deserve to get finessed. We are now going to trade next season's first round pick, because this team does not deserve to own first round picks. Anaheim, what are you willing to give us here? Troy Terry, I know you don't have the greatest contract in the world. Doesn't matter. You're joined the team. Jackson Lacombe, you're a good young piece. You're joined the team. Mason McTavish, we're going to try to get you on the team as well. Peyton Krebs, I'm going to flip you. I didn't really plan to keep you on this team. You know what, Jackson Lacombe, I don't think we actually need you. We have a lot of defensemen right now. Unless we're able to trade one of our defensemen away, like Oliver Ekman-Larsson, are you willing to go to the Ducks? Yes, you are. So maybe we actually will bring Jackson Lacombe onto the team. Does Jackson Lacombe have a good fit with this team? I don't know, but we're going to make him have a good fit. I think you can just tell from my voice, I am so incredibly frustrated with this team. Like, how many times do we have to watch them go into the postseason and lose? It happens every single time. How does it always happen year in and year out? The Toronto Maple Leafs just mess it all up. It's actually ridiculous. And it's not even because of the loss, it's because how you're losing. It's one thing to lose in Game 7. It's another thing to completely fold over and not even put up the slightest fight. You have Mitch Marner on the bench telling you guys to wake up. No, I'm sorry, but that ain't it. Now, Bo Byram, I don't care how much you're asking for. You're returning to this team. I'll do 5.8 for the next 3 years. I think that's pretty fair for you. JJ Peterka, how much do you want? Because you're returning to the team as well. JJ Peterka is going to be looking for $4.9 million. We can certainly make that happen. Mason McTavish, you're returning to the team as well. How much do you want? $5.9 million. How about we do 5.7? 5.7 for the next 3. Mason McTavish is returning. I just turned the Leafs game back on. Like, I haven't been watching since I started recording this video. You guys are getting outshot what in the second period? 17-3. They just waved off the Seth Jones goal. No, that's ridiculous. Like, when the St. Louis Blues lose with 1.6 seconds left, at least that game went to double overtime and we put up a good fight. 17-3. You're kidding me. Now I need a centerman for the top line, and you know what? I bet I can turn Casey Milstead into an elite player for us. Unfortunately, Hawkenpah and Nick Robinson aren't enough here, so I'll give you a 7th round pick. Here's a 7th round pick. Casey Milstead, you're our new number 1 centerman. But we're not done yet. I want one more centerman, or at least one more playmaker. So I think this is going to be the last trade. Yarncrow, a 3rd, and Lorenz are going to be sent over to Montreal. We're bringing in Kirby Dach. I'm going to unlock Kirby Dach's potential, and he's going to be an elite second line player for us. I'm calling it right now. Here's a 3rd round pick as well. Now you might be questioning some of my moves right now, like Kirby Dach to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh geez, I don't know if you can fit that role. Well, clearly the core 5 couldn't fit the Toronto Maple Leafs role, and here we are. So yeah, you can't question anything I'm doing. I'm working with what I have. So here's the team I constructed after I got rid of the core 5. Casey Milstead, Troy Terry, Matthew Knies, Mason McTavish, Kirby Dach, JJ Peterka. Do I think this team is going to win a Stanley Cup in year number 1? Absolutely not. But we're building for the future here, and I wouldn't be surprised within 3 or 4 years we're bringing home a Stanley Cup. No, but in reality, Toronto, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Like, at least put up a fight. Craig Berube, I know for a fact you're sick to your stomach watching this team. Like, when you coached the St. Louis Blues, that was a grit and grind roster. We did what we had to in order to win a game. And now you have the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nah, they better be paying you about $15 million a year to deal with that team. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you want to see the Toronto Maple Leafs have success in the future. Because I know for a fact 90% of the viewers probably watching this video are Toronto Maple Leafs fans because they're suffering. So I expect about 1,000 new subscribers after 1 week of this video being live. Now, things might not be going the best for the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. Like, we're not a super team by any means. We're 23rd in the entire league. But what can you expect? I removed their 5 highest overall players for nothing. We have to understand this team is not going to be a super team right now. Like, we have nothing. I am trading picks to bring in players. The players I brought in, it's not like they're doing bad by any means, but we got to give them a couple seasons here. Troy Terry, 50 points. Bo Byram, 50 points. Casey Milstead, 49. JJ Peterka, 43. Mason McTavish 41, Kirby Doc 39. Like, we got to give these guys a little bit here. We have to give them a bit of leeway. We're not expecting to win in season number 1. We're not even expecting to win in season number 2. We're looking to win in season number 3. We're looking to win in season number 4, and we're looking to win in season number 5. Let's just take a look at a couple of the trade values here. We might be making a couple moves. A lot of players' trade values have gone up a fair amount. Like Scott Lawton, I don't know if you're going to be a part of this team's future. I'm going to be completely honest. But you know what? We actually will probably hold on to you 1.5 for the next 2 years. We'll flip you next season. Your trade value will probably be even higher. Max Domi will probably move on from you pretty quick. In reality, there's no one we can really trade here. A lot of these guys don't have a ton of trade value. So we're not pushing any panic buttons here. We're just going to stick with the team we have. But yeah, what Toronto is doing right now is disgraceful. So after releasing the core 5, unfortunately, the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to miss the playoffs here. I don't think that's much of a surprise. 22nd in the entire league, a 38-40-4 record, but this team will be better next season. We're going to bring in some better offense because truthfully, the only reason we're not seeing success right now is we're not scoring goals. We need these guys to start picking up big time goals. Troy Terry, 62 points, Bo Bottom, 61, Casey Middlestat, 58, JJ Peterka, 51. I honestly don't mind JJ Peterka on the second line, but I think we need a new first line sniper. Troy Terry, I don't think you're the guy. Your trade value has gone up quite a bit, and we're going to capitalize on that. Joseph Wallace, Stolars, y'all did what you could, but there wasn't an offense in front of you, so I can't expect you guys to do anything. The Rangers are Stanley Cup champions. I still haven't gotten over this Toronto Maple Leafs loss, and they haven't even lost yet. Okay, so we're trying to pull off a 3-team trade, but I need Owen Power in order to get this deal done. So hopefully they're going to say yes to that. They're saying no, I'll take out the 3rd round pick. We just need Owen Power here. If I have to give up a 2nd round pick, I'm willing to do that. I'll give you our 43rd overall pick. Please be enough for Owen Power. Y'all are bugging. The fact that I have to give up multiple seconds in this deal is absolutely ridiculous, but you're going to give me a 3rd round pick back. You're actually going to give me your 4th round pick and a 3rd round pick. The fact that I'm giving up this much is ridiculous, but we need Owen Power. We need Owen Power here to pull off the deal I want to pull off, and this is a questionable move. But Elias Pettersson, we're targeting you right now. We are targeting Elias Pettersson, and I want to bring him to the team. We are looking to go 1-for-1 here. 1-for-1 likely won't be enough, but it's a good starting point. We can't go 1-for-1, but maybe we can throw somebody else in the deal here. Scott Lawton, I think we have to trade you here. It's going to be Scott Lawton and Owen Power. We're looking to bring in Elias Pettersson. If we could bring in Hoglander as well, that would be a nice addition, but I don't think we can get both of these guys. More than likely, it's just going to be Elias Pettersson. They're going to be saying no to this package. What else can we throw in? We don't really have too many assets left. I'll give you a couple 4th rounders and a 5th rounder. Please be enough for these 2 players. That's a big time deal right there. We're going to turn Elias Pettersson back into that elite centerman he was a couple years ago. We're going to surround him with some good pieces. We're going to win with the Toronto Maple Leafs, that's for sure. Like, I can confidently say right now, we're not drafting in this video. There is going to be very little drafting. We have 1 pick right here. I'm going to take a swing on this medium league potential player that definitely won't have medium league potential. It was worth the risk. We had 1 pick in the draft. We're going to make some splashes in free agency. We're going to do what we have to. Now, when it comes to the re-sign phase, I think everyone here is going to walk. Hoffman, Pacioretty, Scandella, Blake Wheeler, Clutterbuck, all of these pieces are going to be walking. If you have any value whatsoever, you'll be re-signed to the team, but I don't see anyone with a ton of value. Dennis, I'll re-sign you. We'll do a 2-year contract at $900K. Actually, I don't even want to do 2 years. $850K for 1 season. You're the AHL goaltender moving forward. That's the only thing we're doing here. Now, we have $18 million in cap space right now, so Jackson Lacombe, you are 100% coming back to the team unless you ask for a ridiculous amount of money, but we can certainly do this. I'd like to do a 3-year deal, maybe at $3.2 million. Would you be interested in that? It looks like you are, so Jackson Lacombe's going to be sticking around. Bobby McMahon, I need to keep you on the bottom 6 here. A 3-year deal at 1.7 is a no-brainer. And outside of those 2 contracts right there, we're probably not doing anything major here. Stolars, I'm okay with $2 million for 1 season. Perfectly fine with that. Wow, look at all these spectacular players in free agency. Austin Matthews, $18.7 million. Mitch Marner, $16.1. William Nylander, $13.85. Morgan Riley, $13.5. You're kidding me. We're going to go for Brock Besser and Sam Bennett. Those are the 2 guys that we're going to go after. We're going to get Brock Besser $9.3 million for the next 5 years. And then Sam Bennett, we're also going to go after you. And you know what? We might even go after Provorov as well. Sam Bennett, I'll give you 5.8 for the next 6. I was kind of hoping you would sign on the spot. And then Provorov, we might sign you. I'm going to take a look at our defensive core, but you might be joining the team. So I'm looking to trade Max Domi right now. So far, the lone goal scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I just looked at the score and it's 5-1. You can't make this up. All right, so Chinikov, I'm going to bring you onto the team. Max Domi, although you're basically one of the best players on the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, I'm going to ship you out. A 3rd, 5th, and 6th rounder is going to be included in this deal. We probably didn't need all those extra picks, but I threw him in for a reason. Now, I was originally going to go with Provorov, but Ryan Lindgren's available. He's 1 overall lower, and he's like $1.5 million less, so I'll give him $5 million for the next 3. You did not just reject my offer to join the Chicago Blackhawks. You didn't do that. Brock Besser is going to be rejoining Vancouver, so we missed out on all the free agents we wanted except Sam Bennett. Not a great sign. But you know what? We will make it work. We will find a way to succeed here. Brock Nelson, we might have to go with you. We're going to work with what we can get here. Jack Roslovic, you're available. You're joining the team if you accept this deal. We'll do 2.9 for the next 2 years. Jack Roslovic, you better join. And you know what? I'm desperate. And Brock Nelson, I don't think I ever bring you to the team in my rebuilds. So you're going to join today. We'll do 6.6 for the next 3. It's not like you can make us significantly worse. So we just need some good, cheap, young defensemen. Boquist, I guess you can be that guy. 2.3 for the next 3 years. I just need you to play your role on this team. And then we need one other young player to play their role. Shillington, I guess you could be that guy. You're willing to sign a cheap contract, so why not? We're passing up on Scott Perunovich. I'm going with Shillington instead. And I did see Henry Jokiharju's name, so we're going for Henry Jokiharju as well. Henry Jokiharju must join this team. He's a stick on the ice legend. He's going to show Toronto how to win. Also, we'll make one more deal here. Olsen, 1.9 for 2 years. You can't make us any worse. Bruh, ain't no way Brock Nelson's rejecting our offer. What is going on here? We just can't get any free agents, apparently. I'm not giving up with Brock Nelson, though. I'll do $6.7 million for the next 3 years. Nobody is offering you a contract better than that. I know that for a fact. We are giving you the best contract that you could possibly want, and you're rejecting it. Brock Nelson, you know what? We don't want you on this team. I lied. I'm still not done with Brock Nelson. Here's $7 million for the next 3 years. We need you to reset the culture. I'm sick. I'm genuinely sick. You did not just reject me for the Calgary Flames. Nah, you're the ops now. We are officially against Brock Nelson. I can't believe he did that to me. Michael Carcone, you're going to be the replacement. Yep, we're going with Michael Carcone instead. We'll do $2.4 million for the next 2 years. I can't believe Brock Nelson said no. We're just going to simulate to next season and rock with what we have, because we'll make it work. So this team right here is going to win a Stanley Cup. I am working with this core right here, and I'm going to find a way to win with it. The Toronto Maple Leafs couldn't win with their core. Well, this core is better. This is a core built by stick on the ice. This is the stick on the ice Maple Leafs, and we all know they see success. I've also gone about 2 minutes without checking the score, so I can only assume it's about 7-1 by now. Man, you know what would be crazy? Winning an overtime game. That would be wild. We have a 17, 16, and 10 record. How do we already have 10 overtime losses and we're only halfway through the season? We might be the first team in history to lose 20 games in either overtime or a shootout. That's wild. Now, this team certainly would be better if we could just win a game in either overtime or a shootout, because we have lost so many games, it's ridiculous. Like right now, we have a 31, 23, and 12 record. 12 overtime or shootout losses right now is ridiculous. The Toronto Maple Leafs should be better than that. I take that back. The stick on the ice Maple Leafs should be better than that. Mason McTavish is leading the way, 66 points. Elias Pettersson's actually been a really solid pickup so far. He's got 64 points. Casey Milstat, 62. JJ Peterka, 55. The top 6 is doing their thing. We just have to work on the bottom 6 in the future. We'll address the bottom 6 later, but for now, at least we're competing for a playoff spot. Joseph Wallace, 16 wins, 2 shots, a 906 and a 282. I think we got to decide on our starting goaltender moving forward. We got to figure out who's going to be the number 1 for us, and honestly, I think it might be Joseph Wallace. He's a couple years younger. We have to embrace Joseph Wallace as our number 1. We are going to take a quick look at player trade values, and we might just make a move or two. I don't think we're going to make any moves here, but look at Henry Jokiharju's trade value. Like, that is way higher than what it should be. Like, if I package him up with Michael Carcone, we might be able to bring in like an 86 overall player. So I think this is what we're going to do here. It's going to be Henry Jokiharju and Michael Carcone sent over to St. Louis. We bring in Dylan Holloway and we bring in Jimmy Snuggerud. 2 young players that are going to keep on getting better, and we should be able to keep them on this team for pretty cheap. They're rejecting that last offer, but what if I give you a 6th and 7th round pick? That's always the difference. Toronto Maple Leafs went on an absolute heater to finish out the season. 8th in the entire league, a 44, 25, and 13 record. We actually started winning games in overtime in a shootout. It was impeccable. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. Elias Pettersson, 81 points. He was a big time performer for us. Casey Middlestat, 78 points. Mason McTavish, 77. JJ Peterka, 72. Troy Terry, 62. But there's one thing we have to understand heading into the postseason. We want to win a Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have this season and then 3 other postseasons to do so. But there is one massive elephant in the room. One, we take on the Florida Panthers in the first round here. That is very ironic. But the second thing, which isn't necessarily an elephant in the room, but if we just make it to the conference finals, I actually have done a better job than the Toronto Maple Leafs. All I have to do is win 8 postseason games. And we're not the Toronto Maple Leafs, we're the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. So let's absolutely lock in. Not only are we going to beat the Florida Panthers here, but we're going to win 8 postseason games in season number 2 with the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. We dropped game number 1, but we responded in game 2. We dropped game number 3, 7-3. We are down 3-1 in the series. Unfortunately, the Toronto Maple Leafs have taken over. This isn't the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. We all know the stick on the ice Maple Leafs show up in the big time moments, and we wouldn't be down 3-1. We wouldn't give up 4 goals in the first period. We wouldn't allow 7 goals in an elimination game. The Toronto Maple Leafs would, but the stick on the ice Maple Leafs certainly wouldn't. Yeah, we dropped this in a 5-game series, but as we know, the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing not the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. But you know what? It's not the end of the world because we're still taking steps in the right direction here. The offense wasn't great. Goaltending was actually incredibly bad. So I think we just need to pick up a goaltender here. If we pick up a goaltender, that might be the difference maker. Before we do anything though, there's a handful of guys that need extensions. Chinakhov, he's looking for a big time bag, and this actually isn't as big of a bag as I thought it would be. So we're going to do 4.7 for the next 3 years with Chinakhov. He's going to return to the team. And then Dylan Holloway, ideally you're doing something similar. 4.8, I'm actually not sure if we're going to be able to afford you. We might have to wait until the salary cap goes up. And I think that is going to be the case with Dylan Holloway, so we got to simulate like 2 weeks. So the Colorado Avalanche are Stanley Cup champions. The salary cap has now gone up, so we're going to be able to afford to bring Dylan Holloway back to the team. At first, I didn't think he'd be returning, but the salary cap jumped up like $4 million, so we're certainly going to have enough money to bring him back to the team. $4.2 million for the next 3 years. That's going to be a great contract for him. Now we have a big draft coming up here. Like, we have a ton of selections to work with. The draft is now complete. Look at all these amazing prospects. Now, thankfully, we have a majority of the key pieces already signed. We're probably going to let all these guys walk because a lot of them don't have great trade value or are going to turn to superstar players for us. Dennis, I will re-sign you because you could probably be a backup goaltender in the AHL or something. Can we do 2 years on a 2-way contract at $950K? I feel like that's pretty fair for you. So Dennis is going to be returning to the team, and that's going to be the only move we're making here. All right, now we have extensions to hand out, and it's to a lot of key players like Brandon Carlo, Casey Middlestat, Jack Roslovic. We're probably not going to bring you back to the team because I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford you. But Brandon Carlo, 6.1 is very reasonable for an 88 overall. So Brandon Carlo is going to be coming back to the team. We're doing $6 million for the next 4. It's more money than he's getting paid right now, but he certainly deserves it. Casey Middlestat, you want $9 million? Okay, Casey Middlestat, you won't return to this team. We'll get a different playmaker for the second line. I just can't commit that much money to you. Jack Roslovic, you want 3.1. As a bottom 6 player, we could probably do 2.9 million. Actually, could we do 2.7 with you? 2.7 is pretty reasonable. So Jack Roslovic, welcome back. Shillington, I actually think we're going to trade you away because I would like more of a defensive presence on our third pairing. Olofsson, we're just going to write your contract. Jimmy Snuggerud, of course, I'm going to re-sign you to the team. Can we do a multi-year deal here? 2 years at $1 million? That works for me for sure. And then when it comes to goaltending, Stolars, we'll probably just write a contract. So we're going to try to pull off a 3-team trade, but the first thing we have to do is Casey Middlestat and a second-round pick for Jake Sanderson, a young prospect. We're then going to flip these guys over to Tampa. Unfortunately, this deal isn't enough. Can we go 1-for-1 with these 2 players? It doesn't look like it, but maybe Casey Middlestat and like a 4th-round pick will be enough. Like, they're pretty close in trade value. A 4th rounder is not enough. I'll throw in a 7th and we'll get this deal done. So this is going to be enough for Jake Sanderson. Now we're going to flip him to Tampa. Now, originally, I said we were doing a 3-team trade. I have to take that back. We're doing a 4-team trade. I want to get these young prospects from Seattle, and then we're going to include them in the Tampa Bay deal. Now, hopefully a 2nd, 3rd, and 6th round is going to be enough to get these guys. It looks like it will be. Now we're going to flip everything over to Tampa. Now, hopefully this package with maybe a 2nd round pick or something is going to be enough for Brandon Hagel. I'm going to offer this over. They're saying no. We'll throw draft picks in the deal. I don't want to give up a 1st round pick, but if we have to, I will. Here's a 2nd rounder. Please give me Brandon Hagel. They just want a little bit more. So Hagel's going to be joining the team. He's going to play some big time minutes for us. He's going to be an elite 2nd line playmaker for us. We're looking nice now. Now, when it comes to Shillington and Olofsson, I think think we're just going to try to trade them away just so we can clear up a bit of cap space here. 2 third-round picks from the Boston Bruins works great here. We freed up about $3 million in that deal, so now we can get some better third-pairing defensemen. Like, one of those third-pairing defensemen is going to be Dylan Sandberg. We'll do 2.9 for 2 years because I want to make sure he joins the team, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. He's accepting on the spot. And then Niels Lundqvist, you can be our other defenseman. I'll do 2.4 for the next 2. So outside those 2 free agent signings, I don't think we have to do anything. All right, so more than likely, this is our core for the future, and I think this is a pretty solid core. Like, we're going to see a lot of success with this team. We're going to see more success than the Toronto Maple Leafs have seen. The only question I have is our defense good enough here? I think we got to work on our defense a little bit here. Besides that, I think we're looking spectacular. We have 2 great goaltenders. Joseph Woll, I think you're the guy for us, but truthfully, I don't think it really matters who's in between the pipes as long as they show up. Now, I'm kind of surprised with a 39, 22, and 3 record. We're only 7th in the entire league. I thought we were going to be looking at a top 4 team here, but I'm not concerned in the slightest. The Leafs are playing good hockey right now. This team's going to show up because they're the stick on the ice Maple Leafs and not the Toronto Maple Leafs. Elias Pettersson, 77 points. Brandon Hagel, 62, but he's -2, so that has me a little bit concerned. I feel like he should be better than that. Troy Terry, 57 points. Matthew Knies, 49 points. Mason McTavish, 46, but he's -2 as well. Our second line's just not holding it down. Realistically, the only reason we're seeing as much success as we are is because our first line is absolutely dominating. Every other line has been mid this season. Goaltending has been mid. Nothing about our team is actually jumping out at me. But the thing is, I feel like our defense isn't bad. Okay, our defense isn't good by any means, but it's not terrible. It's like the middle of the pack. So that kind of explains the goals against numbers. So maybe we should tighten up the defense a little bit here, and that might involve making a trade. Okay, never mind, because the defenseman I wanted to trade for, we can't. Clause protection. Vince Dunn, can we trade for you? No, we cannot. So there's no really great defenseman we could bring to our team. Like Brady Shea, you're 32 years old, you're going to age out on us. Jonas Brodin, you're 33 years old, you're going to age out on us. I think we just might not make a move then. The team's looking pretty solid right now. We're going to trust the process here. Let's not mess anything up. So the stick on the ice Maple Leafs, 6th in the entire league, a 52, 26, and 4 record. This team's defense has been way better after the trade deadline, and we're about to lock in here. Pettersson, 98 points. Hagel, 80 points. Troy Terry, 76. Led the team in goals with 36. We had a lot of amazing goal scorers on this team. In the postseason, we're going to need these goal scorers. We're going to need everyone to step up. Look at Joseph Woll's numbers. This dude has been elite since the trade deadline, and I think we're the hottest team in the NHL. The stick on the ice Maple Leafs are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round. We're taking on the team Dubas made. I think we can take them down, though. So for the stick on the ice Maple Leafs, it's one game at a time. We're not dealing with all the media pressure. We're just going to win one game at a time here. We've won back-to-back games. Can we make it 3 straight wins? Yes, we can. Can we sweep the Penguins? It doesn't look like we're going to sweep the Penguins, but we're going to take them down 5 games here. Now I am incredibly concerned. Y'all cannot lose Game 6. Whatever you do, do not drop Game 6. We're not dropping Game 6 and we're moving on. Now all we have to do is win 4 games. If we win 4 games, we get past the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I have now seen more success than the Toronto Maple Leafs had over the past 20 years. 4 wins is all we need. I would like to say we're looking past 4 wins and we're looking at a Stanley Cup. But let's start with 4 wins for the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. We're dropping game number 1. We're dropping game 2 as well. Don't get swept here. We were down 3-0 at one point, but we're going to make the comeback. We're going to win 4 games in a row here. This team will not fold. This team folded in the most impressive fashion. The Toronto Maple Leafs showed up in the second round. The stick on the ice Maple Leafs are here in the first round. You know what? I guess things could be worse. The Tampa Bay Lightning are winning the Stanley Cup, so we lost to the Stanley Cup champs. There's not too much you can do about that. They were a great team, and we lost to a better one. When it comes to our team, though, we just had a lot of guys who didn't show up when it mattered. Like some of our big-time players, such as Mason McTavish, who are playing top 6 minutes, didn't show up. Matthew Knies is playing first-line minutes. He had 4 points in 11 games. I need you to be better than that. We need the big-time players to show up here, and this kind of explains everything. Why did Stolarz take over in the postseason? Joseph Woll was the number 1 the entire year, so I just assumed this team was going to run Joseph Woll. That's what I get for assuming. And you know what? To prevent that from happening in the future, Stolarz, we're not bringing you back to the team. We have to make sure that Joseph Woll is the number 1 from here on out. Now, this draft certainly hasn't been notable, but you know what? We've walked away with a couple medium top 6 potential forwards, so it could be worse. We're going to go way off the board here. We're selecting this guy 40 picks early. Is it working out for us? Absolutely not. Medium bottom 6 potential. It was worth the risk, I guess. So thankfully, we don't have to worry about re-signing anyone here. We're going to be letting everyone walk, and that includes Stolarz. Thank you for the amazing seasons here. but it's time for us to embrace Joseph Wall. Now, we don't have a ton of cap space to work with, but we do have a couple important players that we have to sign. One of them being Bo Byram. We can't do a 1-year deal with Bo Byram, so we're going to be holding off on an extension. Mason McTavish, we should be able to get something reasonable done, and that's exactly what's happening. We're going to be looking at 6.9 for the next 3 years from Mason McTavish. He's one of the most important players, so he has to stick around. Holgunder, right now you're playing bottom 6 minutes for us. You want 3.7 million. We can probably make it work. But how about we do 3.3 for the next 3 years? So that's 300k more than what you're getting paid right now. Sandberg, I actually would like to keep you around at 2.9 million for the next 2 years. And then even a guy like Lundqvist, we could probably re-sign you for a pretty cheap contract. We're looking at 2.8 for the next 2, so he's going to be returning as well. So we're just going to hold off on the Bo Byram extension for now. Eventually we will bring him back to the team. And then Boquist, I think we'll just write out your contract. But I guess we shouldn't get too far ahead of ourselves because Joseph Wall needs an extension. So we actually might have to make a trade here to free up a little bit of cap space, but I already know who we're going to trade away if we have to do something. So Joseph Wall, 4.7 for the next 5. Welcome back to the team. So here's the trade we're going to make to clear up cap space. Sam Bennett and Jack Roslovic are both going to be sent over to Chicago. Oliver Moore's coming in for 2.1 million, and then Porter Martone's coming in for 875k. So those are 2 really cheap contracts. We're basically freeing up $5 million in this deal. That's going to help us when it comes to extensions. And then when it comes to overalls, I mean, like Sam Bennett's like 2 overalls higher than Oliver Moore. Jack Roslovic and Porter Martone are basically the same overall. So it's not like we're getting worse by any means. So we'll throw in one of those medium top 6 potential players that I just drafted, and hopefully that's going to be enough for Chicago. They're saying no. We might have to use a 2nd round pick here. I mean, at the end of the day, if we have to use a 1st rounder, I'm not against using a 1st round pick because we're going to be winning a Stanley Cup in the next year or so. So yeah, trading a 1st round pick in order to win a Stanley Cup, it's definitely worth it. So Chicago, you better say yes pretty quick here because this is getting a bit ridiculous. How is this package right here not enough for Oliver Moore and Porter Martone? It's a little bit low. No, we're getting stupid here. We are about to get incredibly stupid. 2 1st round picks. I'm giving you 2 1st round picks, but you have to give me something back. Give me a couple 2nd round picks. If I'm giving you 2 first, you're giving me 2 seconds. They don't want to give me 2 seconds. How about 1 2nd round pick? We got fleeced there, but it was worth it. Also, we're going to clear up a bit more space. Holgunder, you're a stick on the ice legend. But you know what? We just have too many elite forwards. I can't justify paying you 3.3 million. I was hoping to get a 2nd round pick, but if we just have to include a 7th to get that 2nd rounder, it's going to be worth it. So we're going to make one more trade here, and then I think our team's probably going to be set for the next 2 years. Boquist, a prospect, and a 2nd rounder over to the Rangers. We're bringing in Braden Schneider. We need another good defensive defenseman on the team, and he's going to play that role for us. It's really unfortunate, but right now we're paying Chris Tanev $4.5 million to be a healthy scratch for us. He's regressed way too much. He doesn't hold a role in this team anymore. Bro's down to like an 80 overall. There's just no place for him right now on our team. Alright, so the stick on the ice Maple Leafs have 2 more chances. 2 more chances to win a Stanley Cup here, and I think our team is the best that we've ever seen. From top to bottom, there's just no weaknesses on this team. Everyone's going to step up when it matters. Joseph falls up to an 85. He is the solidified starter. Nobody is taking over for him in the postseason. We just need to find a way to win the most important games and not allow the Toronto Maple Leafs to take over. This is the stick on the ice Maple Leafs. Also, because of the amount of trades we made over the offseason and basically having no picks whatsoever, we're just going right to the end of the season. So in our 2nd last season, the stick on the ice Maple Leafs have won the President's Trophy, a 56-19-7 record. We have the best offense and one of the best defenses in the league. We are unstoppable from top to bottom. Everything about this team is rolling right now. Look at all the amazing players. Look at all the amazing plus minuses. There's just 0 weaknesses on this team whatsoever. Joseph Wall, 48 wins, 2 shots, a 917 to 255. No weaknesses. We're taking on Tampa in the 1st round. They beat us last season, but they're not going to beat us again. Before we get into this matchup though, Bo Byram, it's time to get paid. I don't care how much you're looking for. I care a little bit, but I'll give you a no movement and we'll get this done. So we'll do $11 million for the next 6 seasons with a full no movement. You're going to be returning to the team, and outside of him, there's no one else we have to re-sign. We're running it back with this exact team. Except for Dennis. I guess we could re-sign Dennis too. Here's $800K for 1 season. So yeah, everyone's coming back. But we can't focus on Bo Byram. We can't focus on our man Dennis. We have to focus on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 1st round. Bo Byram signed the extension, and now we're going to win a Stanley Cup. We dropped game number 2 right after he signed the extension. We're winning game 3 though. We're dropping game 4. Game 5 is the most important game. We can't afford to drop game 5 here. We have to win it. We dropped game number 5. Why am I not surprised? If we don't win a Stanley Cup this season, we're bringing out Old Reliable for year number 5. We are going to do whatever it takes for this team to win a Stanley Cup. You better not choke in the third period. You better not choke in overtime. Matthew Knies is showing up when it matters. We got game 7. So Matthew Knies is picking up the big overtime winner. It was a 2-1 game. I need one more amazing game right here. I need elite defense. I need amazing offense. I need great goaltending. I need great everything. We're splitting goals in the first period. Each team is picking up 2. Moving into the second, it's going to be scoreless. We better score in the third period. We can't afford to lose the third period. We lost the third period to Rickard Rakell. One more season, and it's time to bring out Old Reliable. Like, we're just immediately going to the start of next season. We're not stopping at the draft. We're not stopping at free agency. We're not doing anything. Right to next season. We have a good team here. We're not looking at stats or anything. Right to next season. One last chance. We have one last chance with this team right here. The Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs. Oliver Moore is up to an 88 overall and is playing third line minutes for us. We almost have all 85 overalls and above. The only player that isn't an 85 is Jimmy Snuggerud. No weaknesses on this team whatsoever. The defense, absolutely spectacular. Goaltending, elite as well. Joseph Woll is up to an 87 overall. There's nothing that can stop this team other than the Toronto Maple Leafs taking over. This is the Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs right here. If the Toronto Maple Leafs take over, we don't have a chance. So here we go. Our final season. The Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs, second in the entire league. We don't have to worry about the President's Trophy curse, so that already helps us a ton. Hagel's going to be picking up 89 points. Pedersen 86. Mason McTavish 80. He led the way with 40 goals. We had a lot of big time goal scorers on this team. Look at all these guys scoring over 20 goals this season. We had scoring depth on this team. Goaltending was pretty solid from Joseph Woll. 49 wins, 9 shots, a 909 and 262. He did what he could this season. We're taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins once again in the first round here, but we're bringing out Old Reliable. Old Reliable is being brought out here because we need to win a Stanley Cup. This method works 96% of the time. We are going to simulate the entire postseason, and I'm just going to commentate over it. We are going to watch this team win a Stanley Cup because that's how teams win Stanley Cups. If I go game by game, we will not win a Stanley Cup. If I do this method right here, there is a 96% chance that we win a Stanley Cup, and that's what we're going to do here with the Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs. We're going to get past the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're moving on to the second round. We get the Tampa Bay Lightning. I refuse to lose to Tampa Bay once again. We are going to take down the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we are going to win a Stanley Cup. We have already won more games than the Toronto Maple Leafs have over the past 20 years. We have won 8 postseason games. We're in the conference finals. We have the Boston Bruins up next, and unfortunately we've dropped back-to-back games. It better not be 3 straight games. We can't get swept. We did not just win 8 games, which is better than what the Toronto Maple Leafs have done over the past 20 years, and then proceeded to get swept to the Boston Bruins in the conference finals. That wasn't the Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs in the conference finals. That was the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I cannot emphasize that enough. The Toronto Maple Leafs showed up in the conference finals to play against the Boston Bruins. It only makes sense in our final season, when it matters most, in our last chance to win a Stanley Cup, the Boston Bruins take down the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not the Stick on the Ice Maple Leafs, but the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can't make this up. You cannot make stuff like this up. Joseph Woll, you did what you could. But yeah, Toronto, you're cursed. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter who you have, what you have, where you are. It just don't matter. You'll always find a way to lose.